The Antiques Roadshow will air its 3 Albuquerque-based episodes here on New Mexico PBS at 7 p.m. on 3 consecutive Mondays, beginning September 28th. The popular series came to Albuquerque in July 2014 as part of its 8-city summer production tour. Now, while the Roadshow was here, I sat down with executive producer Marcia Bemko and appraiser James Supp, and our cameras went behind the scenes along with host Mark Wahlberg.
Brought my camera.
Your grandpa's camera.
Well, it's mine now.
It's here now.
I'm very pleased to have at this table Marcia Bemko. She is executive producer of PBS's very popular Antiques Roadshow, and the familiar James Supp. He's a Roadshow appraiser from Tucson. I'm eager to hear your insights and stories about the Roadshow, but before we do, I want to share our on-set visit with Roadshow host Mark L. Wahlberg and a rare behind-the-scenes look. We'll be right back with Marcia and James.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Antiques Roadshow.
Well, Antiques Roadshow, anywhere we go, it's as though we're greeted by an extended family that I've yet to meet. The Albuquerque is such a supportive town for us. The show's been here 3 times, which is very unusual. The folks in Albuquerque, and for that matter, this area of New Mexico, have been so supportive of Antiques Roadshow that it's sort of a coming home for us.
This chair was from my grandparents and great-grandparents back in Massachusetts, actually. It's been a curiosity in my family for a long time.
We just enjoy seeing what people bring to the show and what they find out about it, and it's always exciting. I'm always so happy for them when it's worth a lot of money.
And the best part, I think, is the family stories. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter if something is worth a lot of money.
It's your husband.
But the family significance that it has to them personally, that's the best part.
This is a knockout piece.
I think one of the reasons that people tune into Antiques Roadshow and stay with it is that while it appears to be a television show, and it appears to be just an entertainment show for that matter, that everybody who works on that show is very much enrolled in a, lack of a better phrase, a higher ideal. We have self-imposed that it needs to be truthful, that it needs to be educational, and then entertaining. But I think the thing that touches me emotionally is that we all have a shared history. When you, on our show, meet family members who have something that they cherish, there's an intimacy, there's a personal contact point that lets us relate to, oh, in some way we may all be family in that sense.
How did we get back on the list? I'm grateful that we are, but what's been different since you've been back in Albuquerque?
Well, you are a 3-timer. This is the 3rd time in Albuquerque. We were here in '96, right. We were here in 2002, and now we're back. We won't repeat a city in any less than 5 years because we want to spread the wealth. We want to get around the country. And really it becomes, you know, people wonder, do we we pick zip codes? Do we pick cities where there are better things? It's a really boring thing. It starts with, does your city have a convention center or another facility that will hold us, which is about 5,000 people? Wow. We need about 80 to 100,000 square feet of space. Wow. And believe it or not, there are states that we haven't been to because they don't have that.
I'll be darned.
So it starts with this really boring thing, nothing about your antiques, but can you hold our event? Can we hold our event here? And we can.
Isn't that
so
something?
We're coming back. And then it starts with the rest of the tour. Where else are we going this year? We got to go east-west or west-east, and you guys fit in perfectly.
I love it. Glad you're here. James, good to see you. I think
for
for anybody that watches the show, we know you. I mean, it's like we've seen you do your thing. I am so curious what your first time on the Roadshow was like, where you were on television appraising.
I've been extraordinarily blessed, extraordinarily lucky. My first time on Roadshow was in Phoenix, and I get in there, and I talked to the producers, and they seemed to like me. They said, okay, well, you know, tomorrow morning, be here at 7:30. Get, you know, have a happy face on, and here's what you're going to be doing. Wow. I walk in the door, and it was amazing. It was like everything I'd seen on TV, only bigger, closer, and louder. It was amazing. And I'll be honest, I can't even tell you what I saw that day.
Oh, no kidding.
It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, because you're sitting down at this table, and next thing you know, you're having person after person come up to you and put down their treasures in front of you, and they want you to tell them about their things. It was amazing.
I can't even fathom it. I mean, loaded with emotion. They've owned these things for a long time. They've been in the family a long time, and it's a big setup for either elation or the other way.
And what's so interesting about that too is when that happens is that people are bringing the two most precious things they own, and sorry, but as a rule, not worth a lot of money.
Yeah. How does that? Who has to actually explain that? That's a big curiosity. The
That's
appraisers
his
do.
task.
Oh no, kidding.
Yeah.
Do some people not take this well?
You know, a vast majority of people are absolutely okay with
Okay.
it. I mean, they really want to share what they have. They want to see if they can find out something they didn't know before. So that's what they come to us for. We try to tell them a story that they don't know about it.
Yeah.
And it's more of a sharing. They share their story, we share what we know. And really, for most people, the value really doesn't matter. You know, it's nice to know, but they really just want, I don't know quite how to say it, but
I think they want to make connections. And so very often you'll see people come in with a piece of furniture, for instance. And my family lived on the East Coast. They traveled from Connecticut down to Virginia. Is this a southern piece of furniture?
I see.
Is this a northern piece of furniture? Which part of the family did it come from? How long has it really been in my family? The oral history is, you know, the facts are lost in the oral history. So it can make that kind of connection, or just to know that their thing is as old as they think.
I see. Years ago, I remember reading, Marcia Bemko, of a so-called roadshow effect.
We've had an immense effect.
Okay.
So first of all, we're the granddaddy of the genre. So we've had an impact on television because there are a couple dozen shows out there now. We've also had an effect on the market, for instance. When we first started, we appraised Disney cells, like how they used to do animation. And people thought they were rare until we started appraising them and everybody brought them out. What happened to the price? Supply, demand. The prices on that went down because we helped the world discover. Now this is before internet when we started. We're here taping season 19. A lot of that information is available on the internet, so we've had a real impact. And as our experts will tell you, maybe James has a story about it, but Brian Witherell has told the story about when he appraises a Senate desk. He doesn't even want to appraise them again because everybody who owns one calls him. So we have an effect because even if it's not the Senate desk that you have, you think you have the Senate desk.
Gotcha, right.
The devil's in the details with antiques. That much is the overall rule.
And I have to imagine, James, it's almost like being the neighborhood plumber. Everybody calls you for, you know, do you get people knocking on your door with stuff saying, could you look at this? I think it might be worth something. No kidding.
my Facebook will blow up on occasion. Every time the roadshow comes in town, all my friends in the area are like, hey, you know, can you appraise this? Can you appraise that? And every time I leave the city, it's the same thing too. And I'm sure the other appraisers get it also.
Right.
Especially if like when we went into Austin. The amount of calls I got from the week after Austin, I couldn't make it to roadshow, but could you appraise this? And it is astonishing how much stuff will come out of just that.
Now, interesting, you just anticipated another question of mine, and I'm wondering about a follow-up to the roadshow effect, and that is, after you leave, it seems to me the entire community has dragged out all of its stuff. They're taking a strong look at it. Is there an effect for the retail market in those markets after you leave? Does everybody start bringing their stuff into local antique stores and putting stuff up on eBay? Do you ever get feedback in that?
I don't think that happens because here's the big secret about Roadshow, and it's counterintuitive because when I first started producing this show, I imagined just what probably everybody out there listening imagines. You find out you have a Tang Dynasty lion or whatever it is worth 6 figures. You think they're going to sell that, right? No matter what it's worth, no matter what we tell them, the majority of our guests do not sell their objects, ever.
Interesting.
They hand them down again. They're inherited objects we see very often. The day you sell it, you can't afford to buy it back, even if you could find it, so people think long and hard about it.
After 19 years, I got to imagine you're chock-a-block full of stories. Just amazing stories after 19 years.
That's what I collect.
Do you have a few favorites that you could share with us? I'm so curious.
It just depends on what happens. I have like many favorite stories. I think one of my favorite stories is about a fake. A woman came into Spokane with a ruby necklace. Beads, ruby beads all around it. And she comes to the jewelry table with it, and our father and son team, Burge and Kevin Zavian, and Burge wants to test the beads. He's pretty sure they're glass, and he wants to teach her. She's convinced this is a $10,000 necklace. I say to her, I want to take your ruby necklace over to the other area, and I'll be right back. And she says, are you going to keep it? I said, oh, well, of course not. I have not kept anything all these years. So I go over, we tested its glass. She tapes it. She's lovely. You can see that appraisal. But she didn't believe us. It took some convincing. And I think that it's a hard thing to believe. And I think the funniest part was she asked me if I traded the necklace. And something we just taped last week in Austin, Texas. And that is somebody brought in an object. They were a pair of glass vases, Bohemian glass vases that were worth about $5,000 to my memory. So nice. Yeah, that's pretty good money for glass vases. They had gotten the roadshow tickets in April. This was his wife's favorite things. And the husband brought them in, and he was talking about them. We learned that his wife had passed away. In between, both your city has this distinction too. Both he and the expert cry during the appraisal. That story really touches me because that's really what we see as a very emotional day. The only other time we've had tears on roadshow was in this city in 2002. That's
what the circumstances there?
Black Mason appraised a Tang Dynasty lion for $150,000 to $250,000. He'd been waiting a lifetime to see a lion like that. And he was overwhelmed with emotion with seeing it. So our appraiser, you can go onto our website, look up your city, Albuquerque, and look it up in our archive there and see that appraisal.
So this is the rifle that my great-great-grandpa used to eat, to feed his family. And then my great-grandpa used to feed his family, and then my grandpa put it above his fireplace.
Fantastic. I will tell you right now, I see insane things all the time, and this is unique in my world.
Well, James, stories from you, anything that walked in that just absolutely touched you in ways you just couldn't even imagine?
I just finished appraising some NASA memorabilia, a bunch of manuals on how to operate the Apollo module. Getting
palpitations. I love it. This is what I love.
Even now,
right?
I got to look at a notebook that Wernher von Braun had made when he was 14 years old, that had a space cannon and a space capsule. This is from the 1920s, and it's a very Jules Verne-looking space capsule. But it was his 14-year-old hand drawing the future of what he thought rocketry and space travel would be. And 40 years later, there we are stepping on the moon. He's the head of the project that led us to the moon. It was absolutely amazing collection, amazing piece.
There we go. Hi. I'm Marcia. I produce the show. Hi, Susie. Nice to meet you. Tell me about what you brought today.
Well, I inherited it from my mother, and it has...
Interesting, and that begs a question, Marcia Bemko, as executive producer, you have a whole team for these things to assess and appraisers. How does one get an item? How do you qualify to get an item on roadshow? Because not everybody can make it, certainly. So,
what happens is we are going to see, on our event day, we see approximately 5,000 people with 2 objects each. We have 70 experts in the room covering over 20 categories. James sits in collectibles. We have furniture or glass, pottery, wherever you're going to go with your things. And what starts, the appraisers are on the front lines. So it starts with, first of all, if you get to be on our set, you're a qualified appraiser with a good reputation. And unless it's jewelry, they say a great object coming from across the room. They have trained eyes. And they're just hoping if 3 of them are sitting at collectibles that great object comes in front of them.
Right.
And what they will do most people are going to come and learn that their mug is worth $2 and it's circa 2014 and whatever, you use it to hold liquid.
Yeah.
The people who come to be taped are going to stand, the appraiser is going to say, will you wait while we get a producer?
Oh, no kidding.
So the appraisers are the ones who pick to start. Something that jazzes them.
Sure.
Something that excites them, and they pitch either me or 2 other people working with me to convince us to tape it.
I can imagine these discussions must be pretty passionate.
They are, yes.
Wow.
And the hard thing about that job is the obvious things are easy to say yes to, like the Tang Dynasty lion. It's all the rest of the stuff.
That's right.
And it's not, because you could say yes to almost everything.
And that begs another question back to James Supp. As a matter of fact, as an appraiser, you deal in, I was reading your bio, some fairly esoteric stuff.
Oh, yes.
And so to convince the producers that this is actually a very cool thing that has value if no one's ever seen it before, that's going to be hard,
Well, one of the great things is they work with us. I
Yeah.
mean, they are our advocates too. We try to convince them, but they'll try to find angles that we didn't think about for the object to try to talk about.
Sure.
They also look out for us. If we have a guest who might not be telling the entire truth about what they have, or something along those lines, they'll try to ferret that out and help us out so we don't go on camera with something we shouldn't be.
Sure.
Well, and for a lot of these things, it's not about the value; it's about the story behind it. I mean, people bring in these things because they care about them, and as Marsha said earlier, we love what we do. We love telling these stories back to these people, and we love helping them discover something that they may not have known before.
Yeah, good stuff. Good fun.
Thank
Don't
you
make
for
it 10
having
more
us.
years. Make it 5.
We'll keep that in mind. We'll make you a 4-timer, our first.
That'd be great.